Ready to rock and roll.
All right then. Three, two, one. Welcome to our listening audience. We're here on this 28th day of September 2003. I am your international instructor, Benjamin
Hey,
Bilal.
Benjamin,
Yes,
are you streaming now?
yes,
Okay, go right ahead. I'm sorry.
that's
Go
right.
ahead.
Yeah. I am your international instructor, Benjamin Bilal, and we're coming at you again on this 28th day of September 2023. I have my partner in rhyme coming from the city of crime. That would be Atlanta, GA. I'm joining you from Raleigh, North Kakalaki. Those of you who have been in the Army, you know exactly what I just said. I'm going to turn the microphone over for great introductions from our partner, William Saafir. Take it away,
All
my
right.
man.
Of course, I'm not from the Army, so I think that would be Raleigh, North Carolina.
That's correct.
Oh, okay. I want to make sure. Make sure I'm talking to the right person.
You are, indeed.
Okay. But no, man, I'm so happy to be at this point in time, not only in the city of rhyme and crime, but also at this point in time, it's in history. I mean, just it's such a honor and a blessing to be here at a time when uh, those who were thinkers, those who were doers, those who were so esteemed as human beings, till the Creator had positioned them and their very creation to be, what some of us will call prophets. They wanted to be living today
Yeah.
to experience what we're experiencing, and to be at this apex of human development, so the whole humanity come full circle to a point where we can look back to the beginning of in effect time as far as human beings are concerned, and to use the vehicle that we've been blessed with here in the what used to be called the uh, the extremes of hell in North America.
Mm. Used to.
Yeah. Well, it's becoming more obvious now, so people don't want to use that language anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah. But just to be here, just to be here, present, to be able to experience this, to be a part of it, to be honored and blessed to be able to share with the world. Not only what we're experiencing today, but to be able to take it all the way back to the beginning of word beginnings, letter beginnings, the origins, called the science of what, etymology.
Yeah.
Just to be a part of that, and I can recall the time not too long ago when I didn't even know what that word meant.
Yeah.
But now here we are, being a part of sharing with anyone who had the will and will make the effort to listen and to learn. They can actually recreate their life experience for themselves, for their families, for the community, and take it the next step to not only heal themselves, but to create the future that they want for themselves and their families.
Beautiful.
And what greater blessing, to be a part of that.
Yeah.
So I'm standing or sitting or whatever I'm doing in gratitude.
Yes, indeed. Standing, sitting, or lying on your sides.
Yeah,
It doesn't
yeah.
matter.
I'll take it either way.
They can wheel me into the party as long as I'm present. I'm good.
Hey, wheel me, roll me in. I don't care.
Yeah.
Drag me in,
Yeah.
man. As long as I'm there.
Yeah, but you put a premiere on the learning of words.
Yes.
And when you stop to think about it, in terms of what a word actually is, it's actually anything that brings a message to your mind. Yeah, so it's not just formal writing on a page necessarily, but it's anything that your five basic senses can capture as picture language and then have it interpreted through the brain, giving you a message. That message is what we're calling a word. So if I look
Yes.
up at the sky and I see clouds, those are words. If I look at the mountain ranges, those are words. If I look at the trees blowing in the wind, all of that represent words, and they're all bringing messages to my mind, with the ultimate result of those messages being read by the brain. The ultimate result is increased respect for whoever or whatever did all of this.
Hmm.
And although I might not be able to tell you right away who done it, I can tell you who didn't done it. We didn't.
What they say, for sure, for sure.
For sure, for sure. You know, you folks out there going on talking about, God. No, you better take a second look. You see, people are talking about, God, the black man is God, or this man is God, or the white man is God. I would simply ask you to go ask your mama. The one who changed your funky diapers. Are you God? Say, that little rubber rat really God? She said, that little Negro ain't no God. Get it. Yeah. So, no, we have to have proper respect for whatever did this. Some people call it God. Some people say Allah. Some people say Jehovah. We have different words for the source creator. That's the one that we're really referring to. We know that that source creator is neither male nor female, but is the creator of both equally. So there's no superiority of a male over a female over a male. There's no superiority of a particular ethnic group, black over white, or white over black, or red over brown, or brown over yellow, and all of that foolishness. All of those signatures, let's call them, of God, they are simply topical messages that are meant to register in the brain to show you exactly how valuable each and every one of us are with our individual presentations. Because the apple might be red or green in its skin doesn't mean that because it's not red and it is green that the nutritional value of the green apple is not as good, maybe a little bit beyond what the red one is. So go right ahead.
That's leveling the playing field.
Absolutely.
For real,
you don't care what the race of the players are. You care about your winning team, and the winning team for us is human excellence.
Indeed.
That's the playing field that we're on. We want an increase in human excellence. You look around the world now, what you see is a devaluation of human life.
That's right.
Smash and grabs, people just randomly causing hurt and harm to other people, child abuse. You see, so these are the real ugly issues that human beings, if they consider themselves to be true humans, need to be dealing with. You know, not the red and the blue of the political spectrum. They need to be dealing with the red and the blue of the human spectrum. And red and blue in the human spectrum are both good things.
Yes.
Red represents the passions, blue represents the spirit. So we need to be concerned about the leveling off and the balancing of our passions so that we don't go after things unnecessarily or things that are going to get us in trouble. And we need to also level up on our spiritual values. How many of us are praying? How many of us are meditating at least? How many of us are thinking about this creation and our place in this creation and what our actual purpose is in this creation? A lot of us have goals, but goals are temporary. Goals are intended to get us to the destiny that we call purpose. But most humans, I would venture to say, are not aware of their purpose. What do you think about that?
You know what? And the sooner we can get our children, our young, our youth, to be able to think in this direction, man, where they're not just wasting the most valuable years of their life, when they're young, when they can absorb so much information, and they still have their innocence, and the earlier that we can get this information to them, the brighter our future is going to be.
Indeed.
Yeah.
I was watching a program last night where they were showing a bunch of smashing the grabs and random violence and push-ins on stores. I think it was in Philadelphia this time. And the youth that were involved seemed to be even preteen, in my estimation, and all of the way through maybe early 20s. And there were dozens of them just pushing their way, snatching away the gates to stores. And the first question I asked myself was, where were these people's parents? I don't mean in the moment. I mean, where were they when these children were 5 and 7 and 12? For them to have such a lack of value for life. And I don't just mean the life of the people who own the stores. I'm talking about for their own lives. How many years of conditioning and brainwashing did these young people have to go through to come out at the end of the tunnel looking like that? Like they had no parents whatsoever. Like they were raised in the wild. It's an amazing phenomenon that's happening. But what it shows you is that if you don't have internal monitoring of your own moral compass, then you're really just living in fear of the law, the external law. Meaning, if I did this in broad daylight, the popo might catch me. If I did this in front of my mother, she might holler at me. But it means that in the absence of the popo and in the absence of your mother's presence, you're the wild boy. You're the wild girl. That's not a human life.
You know, and that's where the problem comes in, the absence of the mother.
Yes.
You know, because obviously the mother was absent. She may have been there physically, but she weren't there in terms of her mother presence.
Yeah.
You know,
Gotcha.
that natural moral inclination and nature to make sure that my children are representing the best of who they are, what they are, you know, and she just does that naturally. She just molds and shapes that.
Indeed.
You know?
Indeed.
But if her mind is not there, if her heart is cold, as the song says, you know,
So in other words, you can be an absentee parent and be physically in the home.
Exactly.
They talk about absentee fathers.
Yeah.
We're starting to experience households with absentee mamas.
That's right.
Whatever happened to I really love my mama, she's my favorite girl. Whatever happened to songs like that?
Yes.
You know?
Yeah.
It's becoming less and less present in the lives of our young people, especially.
You know, and that's
not just in the hood.
Yes.
Among
you're
some of the super elite wealthy families are experiencing the
Yes.
same phenomenon, unfortunately.
Indeed. See, and that's where this whole idea about the male, the man in the home, protecting the woman, just creating an environment so that she can be who she created to be. That's the protection.
That's right.
You know.
That's right.
So that's where the real work lies right now.
Yeah.
Now and moving forward. You know, for the where that masculine energy, as it's called sometimes, whether that's being executed in the home environment by the male or the female, but creating the environment that's going to protect that mother and her source creator given role.
Yeah.
To nurture, you know, and we've had a discussion about the difference between nurture and nature.
Yes.
But to be able to nurture that life from the very earliest point, you know, all the way through till that clay is actually formed to a point where it can take on the not only the form, again going back to what we're presenting in genetics, but the function.
More important. That's right.
The natural form and the natural function that's been put in the very genetic structure of the human life.
Lovely. That's right. And everything in creation has both form and function, but the form is actually the lesser presentation.
Yes.
You know, so how we look on the outside, we call that form, but how we function on the inside, that's where the functional life is. That's where the most important components are, just like in a computer, what it looks like on the screen and on the box that you call your computer box or your computer, tablet or whatever. That's form. Yes. Anybody can identify with that. I can get my 10-year-old child to draw me a picture of my computer and my screen, and she can do it with no problem. But if I ask her to build me one, she's not in touch with the level of science and technology that it takes to produce a computer or to make a computer screen work.
You're talking about science, technology, knowledge, right?
Yes.
I was talking to a doctor, a PhD doctor, just a few days ago, a professor, as a matter of fact, at an institution. And we were talking about the difference between thinkers and thinker-doers, you know? And so he saw himself kind of in a box as a thinker, unable to really express and practice and execute his level of thinking because of the way the educational system is designed. You know, it kind of locks them in and keeps them so busy just doing busy academic exercises until he can't see himself expressing and utilizing the level of knowledge that he has in his own personal life.
Yeah.
You
And I
know?
think it's because they reduced education to mere ritualism.
Exactly.
Education today has become a series of rituals that we put our children through every day. And
Yes.
we have to get back to designing education so that it becomes a routine and not just a ritual. Let me explain the
Yes.
difference very quickly. A
Yes.
ritual is a series of physical motions and movements that we do, but there's no perceivable benefit at the end of the exercise. So,
Mm-hmm.
I could be making a prayer like Muslims do and putting my forehead on the ground and all of that and turning my face east and west and all of that.
Mm-hmm.
But that actually means nothing if there's no perceivable benefit at
Right.
the end of it. You say, well, there's benefit. You get a little exercise. Okay, well, I might as well do yoga. I might as well go way beyond the 5 minutes that this particular prayer style will give me and just go ahead into yoga where I can get a good half hour in and
Right.
even twist and turn more of the body, So what's the difference between that ritual and a routine? A routine always has a perceivable benefit at the end of it. We brush our teeth as a routine.
Yes.
We take baths and showers routinely.
Yes.
But at the end of it is a perceivable benefit. And if you don't know what the
Yes.
benefit is of taking a bath, just ask your mate or the people you have to pass every day. If you didn't brush your teeth and wash your face and wash your body and do all of these things, put a little cologne every now and then, a little deodorant every now and then, those are routines.
Yes.
Nature doesn't make you do that. Your
No.
intellect decided to do that. And therefore the intellect gets the prize. And who created that intellect? The source creator. For what purpose? To give you freedom of choice.
Yes.
And you have to determine whether there's a perceivable benefit at the end of that choice making. That's what a routine is. So we routinely greet people, meet people, be kind to people, smile at people. Nature doesn't make you do any of those things.
Not at
But
all.
when you do, there's a perceivable benefit. Even if it's in your own soul. I smiled at
Yeah.
that child lit up.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
understand? Yeah, I did this
Yeah,
good
yeah.
thing for my child or my neighbor. I knew my neighbor was on hard times. I brought them a whole basket full of food when I went shopping for my family. Those are routines, and there are perceivable benefits at the end of them. But just rituals? No. Wearing a particular style of clothing, all right, big deal. You like it, but it doesn't mean anything to anybody else. So as human beings, we need to get into the habit of doing those routines that benefit ourselves, our families, and other people at the end of the routine when all is said and done.
Consistent doing.
Yeah.
Consistent doing. Now that's the real prayer.
Yeah.
Not when you're alone by yourself, before you go to bed at night or when you wake up in the morning.
Yeah.
But it's even more important when you are taking that faith system, whatever it happens to be, and using it with yourself, with your wife, with your children, with your siblings, with your neighbors next door, even with your enemy.
How about that?
Yeah.
See, there's a clue, since we're dealing with the words, in the word routine. You can see the word route or route.
Yes.
R-O-U-T-E, right? You
Yeah,
can see it's connected to R-O-U-T-I-N-E.
Indeed.
And what is a route? A route is a particular way that you choose towards your destiny. You know that you're on the route, but the purpose is not just walking the route. The purpose is not just walking the path. The purpose is getting to your destination. So
Absolutely.
as humans, the highest objective that we can embark upon are those objectives that take us to our destiny. So we start out in New York. I'm coming your way. I want to get to California. So I put California address in my GPS. I don't put the Walmart in between me and you, on some route in some city that I don't intend to visit. That's not my destination. That's just a pit stop where I need to pick up some lunch or eat dinner that night or stay at that particular hotel for that night. But that's not the destination. Too many of us are choosing temporary stops along life's path. And some of us die there. Some of us get sick there. Some of us don't know where to go from there. Some of us get lost. Our GPS gets scrambled. So as human beings, we need to first calculate, where is it that I really want to go?
Wow.
Do I want to go back to school? Do I want this particular job that I'm working in now, or am I tired of it? It's a drudgery. So can I go to school for something that I really want to do? You see? So those are called destinies. That's where you want to go. I think the Jacksons did a nice song on that. They had a whole album called Destiny. That was a beautiful song. Yeah, it's a beautiful song. Yeah.
You know, and the operative word there is what I want to do.
Yes.
You know, yeah,
action,
because
action.
You know, and a conversation that I heard you involved in here recently, you described the source creator being function.
Yes.
Being more function than form. We've been given this picture of a form, you know, a man or whatever, you know, or some other divine being, supreme being, you know, a form, as opposed to a function. And I think that's to give us this idea, when we get this more accurate conception, a perception of what the source creator is to us. You know, not what the source creator is, because we can't capture that. We're not, our minds are not big enough to capture the source creator, but what it means to us. You know, the function is more important than anything else, because it's not just who we see ourselves as being, but doing. You know, so that's so important. The function is so important. And that would move us so far down the path of life, of being able to get the most out of each day of life. In fact, the idea of function becomes extremely important for us to understand. I think in the Bible and in the Quran it says that God told Adam to name the things, that he gave him the responsibility of naming the thing. So what is a name truly? Is a name naming the form of a thing, or is the name actually indicating the function, how that thing operates, how that thing does, what we would say in the hood, how it does what it do? Got you. So you have to understand that doing is a part of your functionality. And if we're not doing what we were intended to do as a function, then we become dysfunctional.
And cut. Go ahead and stop.
All right.
That was great. That was great.
Stop.
Of course.
Stop.